Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the BitBoy Morning Show. What's up, Mike Lowry in the house, and also Brian. Appreciate you guys in here for my mods. Guys, I need you to hit the like button when you come in. That's the number one thing you got to do is hit that like button. Really, the algorithms love it. Women love it. Men want to be it. The like button. There you go. Okay. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and refresh and get our latest numbers here. Sheesh. We're at 89.6 right now. Wow. Market cap, $3.146 trillion. 24-hour volume is 159 billion. Bitcoin dominates 56.8%. ETH dominates 11.4%. Shoo! Coming in at 89.6. We're at a low. Another local low here. Let's see. Ethereum's at 29.59. Not surprising. XRP is at 209. BNB is at 191. Solana is at 134. Tron 28.38 cents. Dogecoin at 15.5 cents almost. The ADA coming in at OS 45.5 cents. As well here. ADA taking 32% losses for the week. It's also terrible. Let's look here. Meme core is up 0.2% in the last hour. Zcash down. Caspa down big. Caspa, there it is, 99, almost out of the top 100. Can it stay? It's probably been out of the top 100 a few times that I haven't noticed, but Cancoin coming in at 10 cents. Pump.fund coin coming in at almost 0.3 cents. The Tensor at 313 cents. Or $330, excuse me. And Tensor was having one of the better comebacks, but now it's down 28.6% for the week. All right, 24-hour gains. StarkNet. I told you guys. That might be a good one. Here it is, 24.5%. The Pi network at 1.3%, and everything else negligible or down. Oops. Biggest losers of the day, we got Uniswap, Cancoin, Monero, Pump.fund, Aster, Filecoin, SWI, 7.1% for ICP. Still up for the month, holding on to its monthly gains for now. Chainlink coming in at 12.97. Wow. Market is getting murdered. Let's go to the 7-day here. Starting at up 72%. Zcash up 32.3%. Aster 12.2%. Whitebit 8.6%. Guess it gave back all of its gains for that crazy outright hike yesterday. High network 3.6 cents. Prudence blockchain at 1.9%. And there we go. Biggest losers for the last 7 days: Pump.fund, SWI, Ondo, HBAR, Pepe, all over 20% loss. Then Avalanche, Aave, Cancoin, Cardano, Polygon, ICP 18.5% on with VeChain. And then it just goes a little deeper in the teens from there. All right, let's look at the biggest gainers for the week. Zcash, privacy coin. People want privacy apparently. Starting at 85.6%, ICP at 53.8%, Whitebit 41.7%. And then it goes to Monero with 18.2%, and then just into the teens again. And then just as fast as they come in, they go out. So Then it's down 7.8%. So a few really good gainers this week, or for this month, but for the most part, everything's down. Athena, 44.7% drop this month. Wow. Mantle, 40.7%. Sweet, 39.8%. OKB, Pepe, Gate.io coin, or Gate token, whatever you want to call it. Avalanche, ADA, Ondo, Chainlink, Chronos, Arbitrum, WorldCoin, Solana. Those are all 30% losses, between 30 and 40%. And the rest are tucked into the teens and the 20s. I mean, just really hard time for crypto right now. We're not going to look at any of these. What about Tensor? Actually, let's look at Tensor. Down 94% since its max in May of 2024. But you look over here, you see it had a nice little spike. Could it be mounting a comeback? It has something to do with AI, I'm sure. Let's see. Oh, is it a trading platform? Tensor Foundation. Let's check out the Tensor.trade. Solana is leading NFT marketplace. Okay. I don't know what any of these projects are because they're probably all just meme coins. Looks a little bit like Pump.fun. Tensorians, face of the Tensor ecosystem. Pokemon mystery packs. Yeah. So there you go. Let's look here. Bitcoin, the hourly chart. So you went up here and grabbed some liquidity, dropped down. Should be close to a green dot here, I would think. But not sure. It went down to 89.2 the other day, so it's 89.3 right now, or 89.4, somewhere in that range. 89.4, 9.3. But Bitcoin having a hard time. The whole market's having a real hard time right now. So if you look at this, we're at lows here. Zoom out a bit. Put it in perspective. There we go. This is our descent right here from all-time high to where we are now. That's probably a pretty good trend line to show how far we've fallen. There's actually more to this. This was all-time high. Now we're at 23.6% drawdown over 23 days and 12 hours. Wow. So there you go. That's what the market's been doing. That's what it's been doing. So let's go ahead and get started here. Guys, don't forget to trade on Phemex. Don't forget to trade here on Phemex. 6th anniversary celebration for them. I've got some links down below for you guys. And you should be able to get a deposit bonus if you deposit now. Check out Phemex. It's #1 trading site. We love them. We've been with them for a long time. And if you use my link, you may not have to do KYC or get verified. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on where. Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Okay. Let's go to the FedWatch tool here. And bad news for the FedWatch tool. See if it's moved again at all. We're now back the other way. Now we're 48.9% that we're not going to get a cut. 51% that we are. 51.1%. Or excuse me, I said that backwards. 51.1% that we're not. So that really sucks. But as long as we stay at 50-50, then it'll be really bullish if we do get a cut. I think definitely we could. But it seems more and more like they're going to use this lack of data numbers to justify not lowering the rates when they said they would. But who knows? Because your fear and greed index right now coming in at 15. Yesterday was 11. Last week was extreme fear, a lower version of extreme fear. And we've just been living in this extreme fear here for a little bit now. Need to get back up into the yellow zone. So here we go. Crypto winter ahead. 5 experts say no. Here's why. Okay, 5 reasons why we are not in a bear winter, and we are going to come out of this pretty soon. First guy, BitBoy's analyst, Dane Nelson, excuse me. He says, crypto has institutional tailwinds and growing regulatory clarity. Its path forward is stronger now than at any point before. The recent downtrend is a function of macro uncertainty. Wherever investors get jittery about economic indicators, asset classes perceived as risky feel the pain first. We see the current prices as a setup for a strong 2026. I mean, it's only down 26%. Like, we've seen Bitcoin go down 75% and come back. Hashkey senior researcher Tim Sun agrees. He says, compared with previous bear markets, the industry has gone through severe deleveraging and liquidations, but it has not experienced an FTX-like seismic crisis. At the same time, we are seeing continued progress in asset tokenization, stablecoins, and regulation, all moving in a direction that is broadly favorable for the industry. Unchained's director of market research, Timo Lamar, said the timing of this particular dip is concerning, but there are key differences worth taking in mind. He said, first, all prior bear markets were preceded by a euphoric blow off top. We've not seen that in this cycle. It is also important to remember that Bitcoin is a global thermometer for liquidity in the market. Since Bitcoin's last all-time high, liquidity in the market has significantly dried up, especially with the U.S. government shutdown. As the U.S. government continues to cycle liquidity back into the market, should be expected Bitcoin's price will benefit. 2 Prime's Alex Bloom said, in reality, the market is well positioned for Bitcoin to continue upwards. First, 25 to 30% price declines are common corrections for the asset, and several have occurred even during the run-up over the last 18 months. This deleveraging and rotation of capital is healthy and places Bitcoin in the hands of higher conviction holders looking to hold. Then Exodus Chief Financial Officer James Jernitsky, he said, I have been in crypto for numerous bear bull markets. I generally think that people should be focusing on longer-term horizon and avoid excess leverage unless they are gambling rather than investing. Crypto industry fundamentals are still the best I've seen in 5+ years, so I would expect positive outcomes for the industry long-term, regardless. Most of the analysts said it's crucial to keep an eye on the Federal Reserve, so we've been checking that every day. According to the CME FedWatch tool, another reduction is far from certain. At present, there's 53.4% chance the costs of borrowing will stay the same, 44% chance of a small 25 basis point cut, which would take the target rate to 3.5%. Hashkey's Tim Sun added, if expectations of monetary tightening gradually ease in the few coming weeks or the next coming weeks, the market may avoid developing into a deeper crisis. But if interest rates and the liquidity environment continue to deteriorate, risk assets face an even more severe second shock, potentially leading to a true crypto winter. For investors, the current market is extremely fragile with volatility higher than before. As high-risk assets, cryptocurrencies react more sharply than ever to changes in liquidity and expectations. There you go. 5 reasons we're not going into crypto winter. Followed by 1 reason why we could be, I guess. Okay. Moving on here. Paper hands exit Bitcoin as fear takes hold. Volatility may persist, analyst warns. Bitcoin has entered one of its most severe short-term capitulation phases of this cycle, with fresh on-chain data revealing that short-term holders are now realizing losses at levels historically seen only near major market turning points. According to analysts from CryptoQuant, short-term holder spend output profit ratio, or the STH, has fallen to extreme depressed levels, around 0.97%. This means that recent buyers are selling coins at a clear loss, while the transfer of 65.2 thousand Bitcoin to exchanges confirm that fear-driven panic is actively translating into realized losses. The capitulation structure is reinforced by a STH-MVRV score dropping far below 1, placing near all recent buyers underwater in one of the weakest profitability zones on record. Let's see here. These are buy signals. All the green is buy signals, and we're in the buy signal market right now. Whale flight leaves retail traders exposed to elevated risk. CryptoQuant CEO Ki-Young Ju highlighted structural weakness, across Bitcoin's futures market, noting that average order size shows futures whales have left, while retail now dominates the trading activity. That's scary. Inflows from spot to futures exchanges have collapsed, ending seasons when whales posted Bitcoin as collateral for long positions. The estimated leverage ratio remains high, even as Binance's deposit cost sits at $57,000, meaning traders have already captured large gains from ETF and institutional outflows. Open interest still exceeds last year's levels, yet aggregated funding rates remain neutral rather than fearful, suggesting complacency persists despite deteriorating conditions. Mixed signals emerge as miners complete balance sheet adjustment. While Bitcoin has declined 21% from its recent peak of $119,771, current levels around $91,869. Buyer behavior reveals strategic positioning rather than panic. According to a CryptoQuant analyst, miners distribute coins on only 11 days versus 19 accumulation days over the 30-day window, with volumes nearly balanced at 6,048 Bitcoin sold against 6,467 Bitcoin accumulated. This is a net position change for miners. Went green for a while. The most significant shift occurred in the last 7 days, when Bitcoin saw a net accumulation of 777 Bitcoin, despite trading 12.6% lower than 30 days prior. That position is flipped back and forth to positive territory at 419 Bitcoin as of November 17th. So there you go. As far as the technicals, the double bottom is easy to spot. On the hourly, it's just going to rise and channel if it doesn't go the opposite direction. Let's see what double bottom we're talking about. So on the hourly, this is the hourly. Let's look at it there. Let's go 4 hour. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly good. We also have these numbers down here, way down to 74. So good point. All right. Michael Saylor stands firm on Strategy's Bitcoin holdings despite stock slide. Michael Saylor defended Strategy's Bitcoin investment strategy, noting that the company's shares had dropped close to 50% over the past 6 months. Saylor noted that the recent market volatility is normal and that Bitcoin has historically recovered from major corrections, reaching new all-time highs. He noted that since 2020, Bitcoin's volatility has decreased from 80% to around 50%, roughly 1.5 times that of the S&P 500, while delivering comparable returns. According to Saylor, each market dip removes weak positions and reduces leverage, setting the stage for the next upward rally. CEO considers Bitcoin a unique opportunity for those seeking to preserve capital without counterparty risk. He emphasized the cryptocurrency remains stronger than ever, and its potential growth is intact despite short-term fluctuations. Strategy continues its aggressive Bitcoin accumulation using both equity and credit instruments. Over the past 5 years, the company has grown approximately 70% annually, while Bitcoin has returned around 50% per year. Strategy's recent acquisition of 8,178 additional Bitcoin for $835.6 million brings its total holdings to 649,870 Bitcoin. The average purchase price was $102,000, roughly 10% above current market levels. Saylor stated that the company is designed to endure 80 to 90% drawdowns without compromising its ability to generate shareholder value. We leverage at 10 to 15%. The firm can adapt even if BTC stops appreciating temporarily. Strategy stock currently sits at $206.80 and exhibits high volatility, reflecting market sensitivity to Bitcoin correction. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has recovered to 91,000. No, now it's at 89,000. Let's get that latest number. See what we're doing here. 89,540. Saylor emphasized that strategy's strength does not depend on short-term price movements, but on the sustainability of its model and Bitcoin's maturation. The company combines massive holdings with a robust operational design, allowing it to continue accumulating Bitcoin and distributing dividends while maintaining its long-term plan. Always buying Bitcoin. My crypto is melting down and stocks keep following. Bitcoin stocks are in a bout of volatility, and investors say more turbulence could be in store. U.S. stocks closed lower Tuesday, extending a recent tumble. The Dow fell 499 points, or 107%. The S&P 500 fell 8.83%. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite slid 121%. The S&P 500 closed lower for the fourth day in a row, marking its longest daily losing streak since August. Just 6 weeks after notching a record high above 126,000, Bitcoin has plummeted more than 26%. The cryptocurrency on Tuesday afternoon traded for just $93,000, erasing all of its gains for the year. Bitcoin late Monday had dipped below $90,000 for the first time in 7 months before repairing some losses on Tuesday. Investors in recent weeks have increasingly shunned risky assets like AI stocks and crypto. Not helping, uncertainty about whether the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates next month. The risk-off attitude is weighing on Bitcoin, a highly speculative and volatile investment. In Wall Street terms, Bitcoin is in a bear market. When a price falls above 20% from a recent peak, Bitcoin has shed more than $600 billion in market cap value during its tumble. Is this necessary? Like, do we still need people like walking around on the trading floor? Is that really necessary anymore? I don't know. These guys look crazy to me. Call me crazy, but they look crazy to me. Let's see. Adding to the pressure on Bitcoin, long-term investors may be closing their positions to lock in profits after meteoric gains in recent years. Solana and XRP ETFs just had record-breaking launches, so warrant price is crashing anyways. Bitwise's Solana staking ETF pulled in $56 million in volume on day one, while Canary Capital's spot XRP ETF posted $58 million, the highest two volumes for any ETF launched in 2025. Yet, Sol trade near 205 one day before the ETF launch and slumped to 165 within a week. A 20% drop during what K33's Vetle Lunde called, I don't know how to even say that, is a clear success. In terms of flows, the press times want to trade around 140. What's it at right now? 133. Wow. 133. Paradox isn't actually paradoxical. These ETFs were launched exactly as designed into a particularly challenging part of the cycle, which consisted of heavy profit-taking, macro risk-off sentiment, and capital reshuffling within the crypto space, rather than fresh money right from the outside. Record ETF prints and red spots charts can exist because they measure different things. Volume doesn't equal net buying. Record headlines for BSOL and XRPC describe the number of ETF shares that change hand, not the amount of new capital that entered underlying coins. These numbers capture secondary trading between early buyers, fast money, and market makers. They include rebalancing out of crypto exposures into the new wrapper. They contain short-term arbitrage where traders buy the ETF and hedge by selling futures or spot sold XRP, which can actually pressure prices downwards. Net inflows, which involve the creation of new ETF shares that require actual coin purchases, were strong, relatively small compared to market size. Bottom line is this. Against tokens with market caps in the tens of billions of dollars and heavy existing derivatives open interest, those flows don't move the needle immediately. ETF plumbing explains the lag. Canary's S1 makes clear that the trust holds XRP directly and creates or redeems shares in 10,000 share baskets. Authorized participants can deliver cash or XRP to create baskets. Most launch day excitement remains in the secondary market as ETF shares can change hands throughout the day without triggering any creation or redemption at the trust level. All right, so there we go. Let's just read the last headlines here. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF sees largest daily outflows in history, and we're at the lowest price in a long time. I think those things are probably tied together. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF IBIT puts record one-day outflow of $523.2 million. Great Bitcoin crash 2025 has it lagging bonds and gold. So we were kind of looking at things that lags. So let things that lags behind already. So, all right, guys, that's all we got for today. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I do monitor it sometimes. At sometime during the show, I usually go and check it. So, all right, guys, that's all we got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.